You're listening to the Bear in Mind podcast, episode number 56.
A podcast uncovering identity, color, and love, where driving yourself crazy is totally sane and curable. Now your host, T. Bias.
You ever put a lot of thought into a gift and you really think about what the other person would like, and you get the gift, and in my case, I sent it to another continent for somebody's birthday, and then I didn't hear anything. I didn't even hear if they had received the gift, like, hey, I got a package from you or anything like that. There's silence. And yeah, there's no thank you that comes after that. And there's been a lot of times in my life where I have either given my time or given some sort of resource, or either I've paid for something like a gift and I've given it to somebody, and there's often been silence. I don't hear a thank you back or anything like that. And then what would happen is that I would kind of hold this grudge, kind of keep track of how many times that had happened. And I kind of wondered why I felt this need to hear this thank you, because growing up, and I grew up in a South Asian family in the United States. In my family, in the Indian family, we don't really say thank you a lot. In fact, kind of like if you're a little bit exaggerated in how expressing gratitude and saying thank you, it's not really valued. It wasn't valued in my family, and kind of these overt gestures of gratitude or love are not really kind of the accepted thing or the way to behave. But yet in Western culture, it's kind of a big deal to say thank you. Yet with my friends who weren't part of my family or in the South Asian culture, I often didn't hear thank you from them, even though it was part of their kind of culture and having it be a big deal for them. And here's what I learned, and I'm going to kind of rip the Band-Aid off on this. They don't need to say thank you. No matter how super thoughtful that gift was, no matter how much money you spent on it, whether you helped them move, you gave your time, you did the dishes at their house for them. And by the way, I've done all these things. And so there has not been a thank you at the end, but they don't need to say thank you. They don't even need to send you a thank you card. They don't need to say, hey, I got your card in the mail. And kind of what I noticed in myself, what that would happen when I was so busy holding grudges, is that I started to kind of attack their character. I would say, wow, they are not grateful. They're being, ungrateful, or kind of acting a little maybe selfish, narcissistic, kind of call them names like that. All because I was angry because, well, they didn't follow my script. You give a gift, and then my script was you say thank you back. So here's why they don't need to say thank you. And I'm going to rewind back a minute and back up a little bit. Why did you give the gift in the first place? If I answer that question, why did I give the gift? It would be sometimes kind of these reasons would be like, well, maybe a little bit out of obligation. It's somebody's birthday. Or I wanted to be nice. I wanted to be helpful. I did things because I wanted to be helpful. But those are kind of really these, what I would call surface level reasons that we tell ourselves that we do something for somebody or give a gift to somebody. And when I dug a little deeper, and basically that means asking why. Why did I want to be nice? Why did I want to be helpful? Why did I do this out of obligation? Why do I feel obligated? So if I look at why did I want to be nice? And I wanted to be nice because I wanted them to think I was nice. Oh, I did a nice thing. I thought of your birthday. I bothered to go to the post office and mail you a gift. That would then help them have the viewpoint that I'm nice. And so then they would like me. And so that I wouldn't be, quote unquote, rejected from my friends in some way. And even if helping a friend move seemed like the right thing to do, why was it important to me to do what I considered the right thing? And again, that was so they thought I was nice and so that they liked me. And those were kind of the deeper reasons of why I gave a gift, why I gave my time to somebody. Now, if you kind of put all those reasons together, it's basically that I wanted something in return. So I do something, therefore you think this way about me. You like me, you're nice to me, we're friends. I get something back. And when you really think about what I said about wanting to help somebody or wanting to be supportive of somebody or thinking of somebody, that's not really truly giving. I was giving so that I received something back. And what I wanted back, I wanted at least a thank you back. And I wanted so much more. So even when I didn't get the bare minimum, thank you for the gift or thank you for your time, I, of course, then was resentful. And that didn't make me a very giving person, which is ironic because that's kind of what I wanted to do, but not really. I wanted to give, but yeah, kind of not really because I was expecting something in return. But the idea was still there. The idea that I wanted to give and I wanted to help was still there. And that's kind of where you have to go back to. It's why are you giving? And when the answer to that question, and if you dig deeper behind, oh, you want to be nice or you want to do the right thing and all of those things, and you keep kind of asking yourself, well, why? Why do you want to be nice? And the answer is in relation to what you want somebody else to do. I want to be nice because I want them to see me as nice, or I don't want to be rejected. When you really, and you're truly honest with yourself, if your reason is in relation to somebody else doing something, then that ceases to be giving. And so what I realized is that I do want to give. And what are my reasons to give that have nothing to do with the other person? And so for a while, I kind of stopped doing gifts because I needed to hold back and I didn't want to be resentful anymore because, resentful doesn't feel very good. And so for quite a big portion, a number of years, I didn't do cards or anything like that. I kind of wanted to see what it really was for me, not in relation to getting something back from my friends. And so when I really thought about it, I said, I do want to support people. And it's really about what did I want to create when I give. And I wanted to create generosity in my life, and I wanted to create abundance by giving. And that's it. I didn't want to create generosity and then expect the other person to be grateful for it. And that's all that's required is actually the act of giving freely to somebody does create that abundance, does create that generosity in my life. And so if I look at it from that reason, then it really doesn't matter what the other person does because I've already done the act of giving. I've already created that generosity in myself. I've already created the abundance in my life by giving. And then it doesn't even matter what the other person says. So they don't need to say thank you. You only need to figure out why you need to hear the thank you. And I'm going to wrap it up here, and I'll check back with you next week.
Thanks for listening. Listen for a new episode next Tuesday by subscribing on your favorite podcast platform. Bye for now.